Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome, replay viewers, on this very pleasant Saturday morning, May 13th, 2023. Overcast sky, but that's keeping the temperature very comfortable. Currently, it's 75 degrees Fahrenheit here on eastern Long Island. And we'll take a quick look at our Purple Morton colonies, the two housing complexes. Quite a few more birds arrived this past week, including, I would say, this morning. So the migration continues of the Purple Martins back from South America, primarily from Brazil. I'll walk a little closer to the complex. There they go. Off on a feeding flight. Or just because they enjoy flying. Quite a few of them have already paired up for the season, and now the late arrival birds are vying for cavity spaces that are still left in the housing. I'm not sure if we have seen any second-year birds arrive yet. They're a little difficult to spot because of the plumage they have. It's different from the mature martins. And by second-year birds, I mean birds that were born in North America last summer and made a round-trip migration to Brazil and back. So this is their second year of life, their first breeding year here in North America. So second-year birds, or SYs, normally start to arrive in this area around May 15th, and their migration will continue most likely up to June 15th. Good morning to you, Andrea. Good to see you with us. And thank you very much for that information about the Cannonball new train number. So still leaving Penn Station at the regular time and not stopping at Jamaica to possibly pick up people from traveling from Grand Central Terminal. So we'll be out there at West Hampton 2 Fridays from now to greet the first Cannonball of the season. And as you pointed out, and others, it may be a busy season for traveling. I think we're going to see a lot more people coming out to the Hamptons and the east end of Long Island than we have in the 2 previous years. I imagine a lot of people now feel that we have gotten over the worst of the COVID situation. Although I'm sure the COVID is still with us, but not to the extent it was 2-3 years ago. Anyway, here are our friends relaxing at their housing here. Let me just pan around slowly. Look out to the south. So any showers that we thought would be offshore. Keith in Miami, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. How are you today? We're just checking out our purple martin colonies here, and the birds are still arriving back from Brazil. The migration is still continuing. We'll probably continue through the middle of June. And very shortly, with this nice warm weather, they'll start to get into the breeding cycle now of the females laying a clutch of eggs and then incubating those eggs for 15 to 16 days before they hatch, and then both parents feeding the hatchlings for about 28 days until these little baby birds reach full adult size and are ready to explode out of the cavities. Call it fledging. Oh no, well, I'm sorry about hearing about your detached retina, but I'm hope everything is going well for you. Yeah, we are well. Thank you for asking here. Now you take good care of yourself. I'm a chicken when it comes to anything to do with the eyes. My wife has been after me for the last 5 years to have cataract surgery. First one eye and then the other, but I've just resisted that totally. Yeah, Andrea, I saw that on radar on the Weather Underground. He's seeing the showers are going offshore in southern New Jersey. You're welcome, Keith. Okay, let me just pan up. All right, so this is looking south. You can see the cloud bank here. It's not any rain clouds here, so any clouds that will produce showers are got to be a good 40 to 50 miles to the south of us out over the Atlantic Ocean. And with us now is Broyo Froyo. Hello to you. Thank you for joining. All right, chirp, chirp, pair up. They're just relaxing now. Most of their morning hour feeding has been completed. These birds start popping out of the cavities around sunrise, which is in round numbers is about 6 a.m. right now. And then they will feed in the morning for 2 or 3 hours. And then sporadically during midday, and then again late in the afternoon and early evening before they head back to the cavities at sundown. They have not started laying eggs yet, but that will be very shortly. Let's see if we have any birds fly down to my nesting material platform, which is located right in between the two houses. I built that platform and we put dried pine needles there so the birds can swoop down and grab pine needles to refresh the nests. Yeah, there's one in there now, a female. Has a pine needle or two in her beak, and she's going to fly back up to their cavity. There we go. There's another one. Look at that, circle around, fly in and go into the nest. Now there's plenty of nesting material inside these houses and gourds, because that's how I start off the season. Yes, Keith, they are quiet at night, yes. They do actually sleep, have a sleep segment. It's funny, I come down here after sunset when most of the birds are going back inside the cavities, and you'll hear this little murmuring or chattering, and then that quiets down. And then very early in the morning, before sunrise, I would say about at least a half hour before sunrise, they start to stir in the cavities, and then one by one they'll pop out as we get towards sunrise. And then they'll start their morning feeding. Right, Broyo, yeah, that we saw that. Andrea gave me a heads up on that the other day, so I checked out that summer schedule. Right, once again, not stopping at Jamaica. So anyone who would normally want to try to use the new Grand Central Terminal service, they will still have to go to Penn Station. Mr. Master 767, hello to you, welcome. We were just talking about the Cannonball schedule for the summer. So I guess it's now known as Train 16. That's what Andrea told me the other day, and I looked it up on the schedule. No more 2798. But still the express from Penn Station to West Hampton. Craig, you've been doing some really great front end videos. Really appreciate seeing those from the M3s. And I saw that one video that one of the fellas put up from the front end of an M7. That's pretty unusual. So he must have had a really friendly engineer and conductor that day that allowed him to record and broadcast out the front door window of the lead M7 car. I also read in the paper that the union are up in arms. What's the word at work, Craig, about the incident in the tunnel? Did they send a train down the wrong track while guys were working in the tunnels? So you got some double round trip action. Brooklyn and a trip to Babylon. Great, great. Okay, birds, they're up flying now. I think what they'll do for the midday hours is start to spread further and further away from the home colonies and do some overhead feeding, on the fly feeding. Probably they limit themselves to about a mile and a half radius away from the colony. Wherever the insects are flying. although with no winds blowing here right now, there's still plenty of insects overhead right at our location. Yeah, okay, Craig, yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, good. All right, so we'll see you on the 26th. Nabul, hello to you. Welcome. Thanks for joining. And my fellow viewers who don't know who Nabul is, he is a broadcaster in the south of France who does some very neat video broadcasts from his home area. So it's always a pleasure to have Nabul join us here on our broadcast from our home in eastern Long Island. And we're just looking at the purple martin situation here, which is now quieting down for the midday period. We did catch them in some action here in the last 15-20 minutes. Yeah, Mr. Master, we will wait until we see each other in person. Yes, absolutely right. That's the correct way to do it. Oh, now let me check this out, what Nabul is telling all of us folks. So you were here in New York a couple of weeks ago? I did not know that. Well, I'm so glad you made the trip here. All right, I'm going to have to look up on your channel and see what you have there from your New York City trip. Were you able to meet Dutch Mars? Okay, birds, they've gone away now. Again, looking south. So any potential, not bad weather, but is going to stay well to the south of us today. Okay, so Nabul, you also went to Coney Island. Great. I have not been to Coney Island in decades, to tell you the truth. When we were a youngster, my parents used to take me there, and my grandparents, to all of the rides at Coney Island. It's a pretty interesting place, fantastic place there. Gloomy day, Broyo. Well, I wouldn't call it gloomy. I would call it's overcast. But the temperature right now is 75 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's really quite comfortable. I'm out here in short sleeve shirt, and this high cloud layer is filtering the harsh sun, so it's pretty comfortable here. Okay, folks, everybody who was with us this morning, just let me pan around a little bit, show you a little of the area here. This is looking more toward the north. Notice there's no wind noise Oh, lagging a bit. Okay, Mr. Master. That's because I'm in a marginal cell signal area right here. And I'm just about at the limit distance of my Apple Airport Extreme router in the house. Yeah, I'm trying to run a 1080. Maybe I should have done this broadcast at 720 instead of 1080. I think at West Hampton we'll be able to do a 1080p broadcast because I believe they do have good strong Wi-Fi there at the West Hampton Beach train station. So hopefully that'll work out for us Friday the 26th. Now that's interesting, Mr. Master. This is with the Prism app linked to YouTube. I have Streamlabs app, but I haven't been using it. I've been pretty much exclusively using Prism because I can set up the chat window with the iPhone in the horizontal position, and I can, for full screen, so I can read everybody's comments a lot more easily with my bad eyesight, so every little bit helps. I'm sorry to hear you're having trouble with the Prism app. Maybe I'll do some tests also with, again, with Streamlabs, see how that works for us. Okay, good people. Thank you very, very much for joining this morning. It's always good to see everybody and hear from everybody. And we'll be back on the air one of these fine days shortly. Definitely, schedule-wise, I'm setting up for about 5:20 to between 5:20 and 5:30 on Friday, May 26th at West Hampton for the first Cannonball of the season, where we will also see Mr. Master 767 recording, and hopefully a few others rail fans that normally show up there at West Hampton. So have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Take care now.